What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with the overall markets. I'm going to break down some important setups on Tesla, SPY, and these other tickers, not to mention another big update involving Donald Trump's tariffs. Just know that I am not a financial planner. Take nothing I'm saying as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. Deposit $100 and you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposits $2,000 and you're guaranteed 30. And not to mention 8.1% APY in invested cash. The offer ends at the end of March. So as far as Tesla's going, we're showing some promising price action, despite the fact that their sales declined in Germany, despite the fact that they're down quite a bit. And we're also seeing the Chinese sales slowing down despite all that bad news. Tesla saw a small dip to price a lot of that in, but now it's trying to push up almost 2% with the broader markets as we're getting some good news involving Donald Trump's tariffs. So what's going on? Let's talk about this. There's a lot of news coming out that Donald Trump could pause some of the auto-related tariffs on Canada and Mexico. And this is some very, very big news. Many of the automakers have urged Donald Trump to waive the 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada on vehicles that comply with the 2020 US Mexico Canada Agreement rules of origin. And that's going to be very important. That can benefit a lot of US automakers and other foreign automakers that are in compliance. And then there's been some talk, at least from the White House press secretary, that we're going to give a 1 month exemption on any autos coming through this agreement. So that's very, very big news so that they are not at a disadvantage. And then she also mentioned that the reciprocal tariffs, the White House is saying that the reciprocal tariffs will go into effect on April 2nd. One thing was mentioning is that the automakers have offered to boost the U.S. auto investments, but they want to be certain about the tariff and environmental policies. That's one thing that Trump could add. And they are mentioning that these additional tariffs could be added on April 2nd, possibly. So we'll see about that. But for now, they're going to be delayed for the time being. So that's a big change. Remember, the auto industry makes up a big percentage of the trade between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And this is part of why the market is bouncing. We also saw some news that Donald Trump spoke with Trudeau. Unfortunately, they didn't really come to a consensus yet, but they did speak for about 50 minutes, and they may continue to negotiate as time goes on. Donald Trump may also negotiate with Mexico, so he's basically not backing out of the tariffs entirely. He's not lowering them like right now. He's basically just using this as a negotiation tactic to get what he wants, trying to get these countries to comply, and then simultaneously, he is willing to negotiate with like individual companies, with automakers, with different parties that are involved in production and such. So far, that's what Donald Trump is doing, but this is very different from before. He's not just slapping a 25% tariff on everything and just running away. He's going to do that, but now he's willing to negotiate and he's willing to, trying to get other parties to comply with what he wants. That's what Donald Trump is essentially doing. So far, the automakers' tariffs have been delayed, and we'll see if there's anything else that gets involved as well. We'll see if more tariffs are delayed or more parts of the deal. So we'll see. But so far, the market's seen a more positive move. We saw Tesla up about 2% so far. I want to mention that we have a very nice looking inverse head and shoulder setup. There's a left shoulder here, there's a head down here, and then possibly a right shoulder. But we need Tesla to hold these lows. I want to see it hold above this yellow trend line right here. If we could hold that, there's going to be an attempt to push for the 280s pretty quickly for a nice move up. The main resistance right now is around that like 291.5 area. Then after that, we have like 294. I would like to see us break that to remain more bullish. So far, this is a temporary move up, and there is potential in this. So I think we're doing a good job. I also want to add that we were trying to form that bullish divergence from earlier. We did come back down here, and you could see that there are still some buyers defending. So there's a slight bullish divergence on Tesla, and we're trying to see that pan out. Overall, we're doing a good job at holding up, and we'll see if this lasts. Heading into the next couple of days, there's not too much economic data coming out in the morning. We just have like non-farm payrolls and some factors like that. But for now, the market's holding up, looking very resilient, and the setups look quite promising with this inverse head and shoulders on Tesla. And then also about Tesla, one more thing I forgot to mention. When you go to the daily time frame, this is also trying to hold above this trend line. So we have this um, channel, right? This downward channel that we've been in, but we're at the trend line right now. So we're at support. We want to see if we could get some kind of rebound move first before we continue to go lower in the future. This depends on if Tesla could hold to 270. And so far, I think we're doing a decent job. So let's see how we close. Hopefully, we do get a decent close and the setup remains for now. Going back to SPY, okay, we're going to go to SPY right now. This got a nice pump. So we did get this dump initially, but we got bought right back up, which goes to show how this is being traded. We're going to be watching that 585 area as resistance to see if we could break that over the next 2 days. And then if we can't hold above 578, we could turn back down. Overall, I think we're doing a decent job at holding up. We'll see if we break 585 as time goes on, but just know we still technically have that inverse head and shoulders. And this is kind of looking like a double bottom that's forming, so it is looking promising. And overall, SPY did a good job of seeing a nice bounce. So we got this little sell off, but then, the market's bigger move was the upside move. This trumped that sell off. And for now, the buyers have a bigger edge. We'll see if we could break 585 to remain more bullish. Overall, the market is still showing resilience. Same thing with the QQQ. We have a very, very nice looking inverse head and shoulders. There's a left shoulder here, a head, and then a right shoulder. This could be trying to get back up to about that 506.5 area or above. If we do lose 495, I will become a little bit more concerned. But for now, we are looking a bit more bullish, and we're seeing the QQQ trying to bounce. The Russell 2000 has a slanted inverse head and shoulders. We're still fighting this white trend line, which was previous resistance becoming support, or previous support becoming resistance, excuse me. And if we could break through this, we're going to be looking for an attempt to get back up to about 211. So I think we're doing a good job. On ES, we also have a slanted inverse head and shoulders here. We'll see if we could break past 58.81. If that breaks, we're looking for 5,900 plus. We haven't lost support, so I think we're doing a good job, so keep that in mind. For NQ, similar setup, inverse head and shoulders. I want to see this hold 20,700. If we could hold this, we're going to be looking a lot better. Let's hope that holds. And overall, the buyers are continuing to defend. For others out there, we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin remained bullish. We're continuing to bounce off this trend line, and we're uptrending right here. This may slowly inch its way up towards the 90,000 plus area to 93,000. Nvda has a very, very nice looking setup as well. We'll see if we can break past this resistance to get back above the 120 area and then push for 122. It looks bullish as well. Tesla, nice setup, like I said before, slanted inverse head and shoulders. I want to see it really break past like 280 though to really start going. Looking at Aapl, so we dumped on Aapl after some bad news came up. Now we're trying to get bought back up. We'll have to see if we could reclaim this trend line, but we're doing a good job. For Coin is looking a bit more bullish. We're looking for an attempt to get to 225. If that breaks, we're looking for this imbalance fill for 232. Amazon, inverse head and shoulder setup. We're looking for an attempt to get back up to about 212. If we could break past 210, I think we push for about 214, actually. So there is potential in this. For Meta, we have a slanted inverse head and shoulders. I want to see this break past 660. If that breaks, we're looking for an attempt for 670. For Microsoft, looks a bit more bullish with the inverse head and shoulders, looking for an attempt for 400. If we could hold above that, 405 is coming next. Google also has a somewhat slanted inverse head and shoulders. This could also lead to more upside as we try to push for 176 and eventually 180. So I think we're doing a good job. The VIX has a head and shoulders, which is bearish. We'll see if we lose 20.8 to dip more, but overall, it's looking a little bit weaker. So the market is very resilient. It's doing a good job at holding up. We're approaching a tough resistance for SPY, and also Tesla's at a resistance, but overall, I think we're doing a fantastic job. So the market's optimistic with Trump's tariffs. We'll see if the move continues heading into tomorrow, but so far, the bulls have a bigger edge. I would like to see Tesla break past 280 to continue this pump. Hopefully, this inverse head and shoulders pans out, and we'll give this more time. Anyways, thank you for listening. So far, so good. I'll see you guys with another upload later on in just a couple of hours. Have a good one, and peace out.